Hi, my name is Lauren Taylor with Defend Yourself, and this is Sarah T. of 5 Smooth Stones Self-Defense. Today we're going to talk about ways you can reduce your fear and feel more confident in everyday life through having some self-defense skills. Many people think that to defend yourself you need to be a martial artist or at least an athlete, but the truth is, no matter how small you are, no matter how weak or out of shape you may be, even if you have injuries or disabilities, there are things you can do to help yourself be safer. Every situation is different, so there's no magic formula. It's not like if A happens, you do B. Really, you already have some tools in your toolbox that you use every day to help yourself be safer. We're just going to add some tools in your toolbox. So let me tell you a little bit about ourselves. I've been a self-defense teacher for more than 20 years and am certified by the National Women's Martial Arts Federation. I've taught thousands of women, teens, boys, girls, and men in the DC area and specialize in teaching adult women, teenagers, lesbians and gay men, survivors of abuse and assault, and people with disabilities. Sarah has worked in conflict resolution and self-defense as a teacher for more than 12 years. Most of her thousands of students are teenagers who live in high-crime neighborhoods and adult women who are survivors of domestic violence. Now, let's get started. Hi, my name's Lauren Taylor, and we're working on learning some skills for self-defense. Now we're going to talk about understanding violence against women and self-defense in the big picture. A lot of people think of self-defense as what you do if you're walking down a dark alley and someone jumps out, or you're walking down the street and someone jumps out from the bushes and they try and rape you. And while self-defense does deal with those situations, I think of self-defense as a much more holistic thing. It's anything you do to stop any kind of violation in your life, whether it's harassment, emotional, mental, psychic, spiritual violation of any kind. And it's not just what you do to stop it, but it's also what you do to prevent it, and it's what you do to recover from anything that you've already experienced. Now, most attacks on women and girls in particular are by people we know. And in sexual assault and rape situations, it's well over 70% are by people that we know. So we spend a lot of time emphasizing verbal interactions, how to deal with someone when all they're doing to you is talking, but they may be violating your boundaries in some way in what they're saying or how they're talking or how they're standing too close to you or whatever. So even if it's a stranger who attacks you, the chances are it starts with words. Very few attacks just start full on with a physical attack. So we want to spend a lot of time working on how to deal with a verbal situation when it's just words, because that can give you practice and also may be able to help you stop something before it becomes physical. Because most attacks are by people that we know, words are the first tool that we have. Now, the tools in self-defense, I really think of them as tools in your toolbox. They're just choices. You already do things every day to keep yourself safe. We're going to add to those tools. But only you know in a situation which tools to pull out and try. There are, however, some general strategies and statistics that can help you make a decision about what to do in different situations. If it's a property attack, they want your money, your watch, your jewelry, your knapsack, your purse, your car, your cell phone. Most of the time they have a weapon. Approximately 55% of the time they have a weapon. If your bottom line is your safety, which I hope it is, the safest thing to do is give them what they're asking for. In a personal attack, especially in a rape or a sexual assault situation, resistance works more than 70% of the time. So if you stand up to a potential sexual offender, whether it be with words or physically or by getting help, the chances are that you will be successful. That doesn't mean that you always should resist, but to realize that resistance is a choice. Also, complying, it can be a choice if you feel that's the safest way to get through the situation. An abusive relationship is different than the other two. If you are in an abusive relationship, the safest way to get out is not by doing some of the hits and strikes that we're going to teach you here today. Instead, the safest way to get out in an abusive relationship is to talk to someone who helps people in abusive relationships make a safety plan so that you can be as safe as possible while you're in the relationship. Also a plan for how to leave if and when you decide to leave, and a plan for how to stay safe after you've left, which can sometimes be the most dangerous period. So the most important thing if you're in an abusive relationship is to talk to someone who does advocate for women in domestic violence situations. The final thing to remember is that no matter what you do or you don't do, whether you are passive, whether you're aggressive, whether you're assertive, which is the skill we're going to teach you here today, whether you make bad decisions, whoever you go with, whoever you're hanging out with, if someone chooses to abuse you or attack you or assault you, that is their choice. It is not your fault. The responsibility always lies with the harasser, abuser, or attacker. So that's some general guidelines for understanding violence against women in self-defense. And now we're going to talk about how to prevent harassment, abuse, and assault. Hi, my name is Lauren Taylor with Defend Yourself. Today we're working on self-defense. Now we're going to look at how to prevent harassment, abuse, and assault. The most important thing that everybody's probably heard of is awareness. Awareness is the obvious things like knowing your surroundings, knowing where the exits are, knowing where you can get for help, but also noticing the people. What are their moods? What are they doing? What kind of energy are they giving toward you? Another skill is acting confident. Now, you're probably fairly confident in most of your life, but if you're in a situation where you don't feel confident, when you're nervous or someone's bothering you, you want to have the skill to act confident even when you don't feel that way. When you're dealing with someone you know, or whether it's someone you know or someone you don't know, if it's someone you know and you know that they invade your boundaries, say inappropriate things, stand too close, or whatever it is that bothers you, or if it's someone that you don't know and you've got that yucky feeling, that's your intuition at work and you need to respect it. Everybody has had that yucky feeling in one way or another. You might feel it in different parts of your body, just kind of jangly, or something up in your chest, or hairs on the back of your neck stand up, or your breathing gets fast. It's important to respect that, not minimize it and dismiss it, but respect that, notice it, and take some action. In order to take some action, you have to know what you want. And for many of us, that's the hardest thing. So a bigger life project is getting to know yourself, but also in the moment, take a second and think, what is it that I want? Now, since, as we've already discussed, most attackers of women and girls are people that we know, whether they're intimate partners, friends and family, just acquaintances, it's important to pick your friends and partners wisely. If someone doesn't listen to your opinion, doesn't respect you, doesn't listen when you say no, those are all early signs of an abusive relationship, and you want to ditch that person. Finally, the last thing you can think about is taking a self-defense class. Now, not everybody can do that, so we're going to give you a mini self-defense class here. We've looked at how to prevent harassment and abuse and assault. Next, we'll talk about how to say no.
Hi, I'm Sarah T. from 5 Smooth Stone Self-Defense. Today we're learning how to defend ourselves, and right now we're talking about how to say no. Attackers rarely strike out of nowhere. Usually an attacker is somebody that you already know, and they've targeted you for an attack and tested you to see if they're going to be successful. An attacker tests you by pushing your boundaries, and so you have to know how to say no. In fact, experts say that the single biggest predictor of a violent attempt on you is when you say no and another person disrespects it. Okay? So you have to know what you want, be able to communicate it, and you have to be able to match your eye contact, your voice, and your body language to what you're saying. The first thing you have to do is have a grounded and focused, strong stance. When you say no to a potential assailant, you have to look like you mean it. Your voice has to communicate what you're saying in a serious fashion. It should be low, and your eye contact should be direct. Your hands should be in front of you just in case an attack turns physical, not reaching out to provoke an attack and not imploding as though you're not capable of backing up your no. So that's more or less how to say no. Now let's take a look at how to deal with harassment.
Hi, I'm Lauren Taylor from Defend Yourself. We're working on self-defense today, and right now we're going to work on how to deal with harassment. Now, a lot of people think about harassment, well, can I just ignore it? And the answer is yes, you can ignore it. But there are a lot of times when ignoring it is not the safest thing to do, so you want to have other choices. Some of those times when it might not be the safest thing to do are when Walking away and ignoring it is not a safe option. There's nowhere else to go. There's no one to get help from around you. Another possibility is, as Sarah talked about a minute ago, they may be testing you to see if they can do something more intense, move on to an attack. And a third possibility is that they're a person you see every day. Say there's someone at school, there's someone at work. Yes, you can ignore it and you can walk away, but you're going to have to deal with them tomorrow. So you may want to set a limit. If you decide to set a limit, you want to use those three channels: your voice, your body, and your face, all together in sync to give a consistent message. If they don't respect your message, if they don't respond to your message, you're going to repeat yourself and you're going to get more intense. So now we're going to show a couple of scenes, how you put that together to deal with harassment. In this scene, Sarah's going to be a street harasser and I'm just walking down the street.
Wow, you look good.
Don't talk to me like that.
Excuse me?
I said, that's disrespectful. Please don't talk to me like that.
I'm just trying to tell you you're a sexy lady.
I don't appreciate it. Don't talk to me like that. In the second scenario, I'm the harasser. Hey, Sarah, how was your weekend?
It was fine. How was yours?
Good, good. What'd you do?
Oh, I just hung out, you know, the usual.
Did you go on any dates? Anything interesting? Anything juicy?
I don't think that's appropriate to talk about.
Well, come on, what's the matter? You're such a gorgeous woman. You don't have anybody.
Well, thank you. You know what? Take your hand off me. Just step back. Step back.
I thought you liked me. I like you.
Could you
I'm not
please
being.
Take a step back, Lauren. Look, I just don't think that's appropriate to talk about at work. We can talk about work things, but let's just leave my personal life out of it, okay?
Okay. In the third scenario, we're going to talk about dealing with family, which for a lot of people can be the most difficult. In this scene, Sarah's going to be my Uncle Herbert, and we're at a family gathering. Hey, Uncle Herbert, how are you?
Lauren, it's so good to see you.
Yeah,
wow, you have really
it's really good to see you too.
Good.
Yeah,
yeah,
could you
really
not do? I am grown up, and so I don't like people putting their hands all over me and stuff. Yeah, It's really good to see you, but I don't want you to put your hands all over me.
I'm fine. Bye.
Now, as Sarah just showed, you're not always going to get a wonderful response from the person. They may do what we call a parting shot, call you a name, or say there's something wrong with you, or say you're hypersensitive. That's okay. You have to define your success for yourself. For me, it was that I didn't want Uncle Herbert to put his hands on me, and so that worked. That's some ways to deal with harassment. Next, we're going to talk about how to hit and what to hit with.
Hi, I'm Sarah T., and today we're learning how to defend ourselves. Right now, we'll talk about how to hit and what to hit with. Most people think that in order to defend ourselves, we need to be karate fighters or kung fu fighters, or that we need to be bigger and stronger than a potential assailant. But neither of those things are true. We need to think about self-defense in terms of what's weak on the attacker and what's strong on you, or what's exposed on an attacker and what's free on you. For these reasons, we think about self-defense in terms of targets on an assailant and weapons available on our body. Today I'm going to use Lauren to demonstrate some of the targets on a potential assailant and weapons of opportunity or weapons on my own body that I would use to defend myself in the case of an assault. From the top down, some of the most sensitive areas that you could target on an assailant would be the eyes, the nose, the throat, the solar plexus, the groin, the knees, the shins, and the top of the feet. From the side and the back, kidneys are a good target, groin from the back, and knees from the side. If I have my hands available, they can be useful in several different ways. If I put my fingers together, I can go to the eyes. Or if I pull my hand back like this, I can go to the chin or turn to the side and go to the throat. I can use my hand like a hammer fist to hit to the groin, to the temples, or to the throat. Elbows are also a good weapon. I can use my whole body to turn and to strike with the front of the lower part of my arm. I can pull my arm forward and come back and use my elbow in this way or in this way. I can use the top of my leg, I'll call it the knee, but it's not really the patella, it's the top of the knee here, to come up and under if the groin is available. Notice how I'm pulling her forward and doubling the force of my impact. If Lauren's already bent over, I can put my hands here to stabilize the technique, ground myself in a good stance, and strike to the head with a knee. Okay? In the case of a sexual assault especially, I could use the palm of my hand to come in between and pull the testicles. I could use my foot to break a knee. Notice how I pull my leg forward to maximize the distance and therefore increase the force. I could use the inside of my foot to swing and scrape. And I could pick up and I could stomp down on the foot. There's lots of little bones in the foot that you could easily break if you step on one. If I feel stronger, I can use what we call a weapon of opportunity. A weapon of opportunity is anything that you could have handy that you feel would make a stronger impact when you hit somebody with it. It could be a simple object like a book, your car keys, a stapler, anything that you feel could cause damage. Remember, when you're trying to defend yourself, you're saving your own life. So it's okay to hit hard. You could use a pen, you could use anything. That's just a couple of things about how to hit and what to hit with. Next, we'll learn about how to deal with the standing attack.
Hi, my name is Lauren Taylor, and today we're learning about self-defense. We just looked at places you can hit on a person and things you can use on your body to hit with. Now we're going to talk about how to put those together if you're attacked standing up. A couple of general principles that we've talked about. One is you're looking for what is available on them to hit and what's available on you to hit with. So there's no magic formulas. You just have to look, what's open, what can I get to? The other thing is that in addition to the hits, we're going to add a couple of things. One is always yell. Yelling makes you stronger, could bring attention, could scare them away, reinforces your message. There's a whole lot of things. Keeps you breathing. So you want to always yell. And the other thing is, when you're done, teach yourself to run to safety. Don't just stand there and go, oh my gosh, what just happened? But think about, at the end, I'm always going to run away. So with Sarah playing the attacker role, we're going to put those together in a few scenarios. Okay, first thing I do, I grab onto her and I yell no. No! 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 Those were a few things that you saw earlier. I went to her eyes, I went to her nose, I went to her groin, I kicked her knee, and then I ran away. Probably that's more than you would ever need in a situation, but better to be overtrained than undertrained. If it's some kind of a back attack, no, 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 no! Again, what did I do? I grabbed her testicles with my hand, I elbowed her, I stomped on her foot. A stomp is a great technique because it doesn't take a lot of strength. All you really need to do is use your weight. In both of those situations, what I did was run away. If you practice, the best thing to do, don't worry about the speed, just think about yelling hard, yelling loudly, and finding the openings. So that's some of how you would deal with a standing attack. Next, we're going to talk about putting it all together.
Hi, I'm Sarah T. Today we're learning how to defend ourselves. Now we're going to put everything we've already learned all together into a typical scenario. Most assaults don't just happen from a standing or a sitting position. They begin with a verbal confrontation and they escalate into a physical assault. In all situations that are volatile on any level, you remember you want to set clear boundaries. In the event that you are attacked, that your boundaries have been violated, and that you're actually in a physical self-defense situation, remember to yell. Once you've successfully defended yourself, remember to get to safety, whatever safety is. It could be leaving the building, it could be getting into your car, it could be getting to a telephone and calling for help, whatever safety is. Lauren and I are now going to demonstrate 3 scenarios with all the self-defense principles at work. In the first situation, the attacker gets close to me by asking for directions.
Hey, you look like nice. Could you help me? I'm trying to find the Smithsonian Museum.
Sure, the Smithsonian's, you just want to go straight down here and then make a left on 7th Street.
Straight which way?
Straight down the street that you're already on.
Yeah.
And could you take a step back, please? I'm going to explain to you. I just would be more comfortable if you would take a step back.
Okay, I can't see
Thank
where
you.
7th Street is.
Well, you'll see it once you get back in your car and drive.
Would you show me?
Take your hands off of me. Take your hands off of me and take a
I
step
thought
back.
people were
I
supposed
said take your hands off of me and take a step
I
back.
thought people were supposed to be nice in D.C. You're not
Step
nice.
back.
You should be nicer
I
to
said
me. I'm
step
a
back.
tourist. You should be nicer to me. What's your problem?
No! In this scenario, we're going to put all the principles of self-defense together into a situation involving somebody that you know. In this scenario, I'll be assaulting Lauren, and I know her from seeing her around the apartment building that we both live in. Hey!
How you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
All right.
Well, you got a lot of stuff there. Can I help you carry something?
Oh, no, really, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, why don't you just let me take something?
No, I'm just gonna go on up to my apartment. It's all right.
Can I come with you? Maybe we can have a drink?
No, really.
Are you sure?
No.
Come on,
I'm
I
fine.
have always wanted to get to know you.
I know, but
Why are you so stuck up? How come you don't want to? What are you going to do? Look, you can't even move now.
I just don't like people touching me.
Well, too bad. What are you going to do? I'm all in your
Look,
face now.
I said don't touch me. Back
I'm gonna
up.
touch you.
I'm going to consider it an
touch
assault. No!
In this scenario, we're going to put all of the principles of self-defense together in a situation involving a survivor of domestic violence and a former partner who she has a restraining order against. In this situation, I'll be defending as Lauren crosses the legal boundary of a restraining order.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh, no. You cannot
minute.
be anywhere near me. You need to get moving.
I just want to talk to you. Look,
No.
it's not going to be like that. It's not going to get messy. I'm okay.
Listen.
I just want to talk to you for a minute. I need to see the kids.
Excuse me, can somebody please call the police?
I need to see the kids. I
No,
know I'm not
no,
supposed
what
to
you
see
need
them
to
until
do-
next week, but really, I just need to see them. Just let me talk to them. I
No.
change. It's really not like you
You
think.
need to go.
Look, Sarah, you
it's
can't.
not even a question.
You can't tell me what to do.
No! So that's how we put all of the principles of self-defense together in situations that escalate from the verbal into the boundary setting and then finally in the physical. As you can see, in each case, the defender was aware of her environment, set the boundaries, presented a strong verbal defense, and then looked for targets on the assailant and weapons that were available on her, and then finally got to safety. In the next segment, we'll discuss how to make self-defense a part of your everyday life.
Hi, my name is Lauren Taylor. We've been talking about how to defend yourself. Now I'm going to talk about how you can make self-defense a part of your everyday life. First of all, I want to caution you, if you practice, and it is a good idea to practice some of the techniques that you learned today, it's a good idea to practice them safely. That means practice your hits to the air, write them down, visualize them in your mind like you're an athlete. What would I do? How would I hit? Where would I go? What would I say? You can also practice hitting on pillows or the bed or the couch or something like that. Do not practice on live human beings who are not attacking you. It's really easy to make a mistake and hit someone and they get a broken nose or whatever. That's bad news. It's also good news that it's easier to hurt somebody than you think. So if you need to use it in self-defense, go for it. But don't practice on live human beings who are not attacking you. I want to review the verbal principles. Say what you want. Use your voice, body language, and facial expression to do all of those. Remember, you want your voice, body, and face to be in alignment with each other. And then tell them what you want. If they don't do what you ask, they don't respect your limit or respect your no, say it again, repeat yourself, and get more intense. we try and remember that hitting someone is not a good first resort. If the other options you want to always think about are, can I get away? Can I run? Can I leave? Can I talk or yell to get help or to set a limit? Or can I get help, either from someone nearby or from making a phone call or from reporting it to a counselor or a teacher or an employment person? Getting help is a very underutilized strategy. So consider, can I leave? Can I talk? Can I get help? Whatever the situation is, even if you feel you've dealt with it, it's important to tell someone. You may not choose to tell the police, but to tell someone who can help you process it. And remember that no matter what you do, whether you were assertive, you were non-assertive, you made good decisions, you made bad decisions, whatever you do, it was not your fault. The fault and the responsibility lies with the person who chooses to harass, abuse, or attack. So bottom line, remember, you're worth it, you're worth defending, you deserve to be safe. Take those steps for yourself.